So I'll be the first to welcome you back to Mount Zion. Again and again. Okay. I want to be the first to welcome you back to Mount Zion. We are glad to have you back here. Could you please tell us a little about you for those who may not know you yet?
I'm Dawn Driscoll.
I'm Joe Driscoll.
We live on the south side of Wauwatosa. I work for the Medical College of Wisconsin, Department of Psychiatry. I'm a quality analyst there.
I work for Quadgraphics in Sussex, a database analyst.
We are dog parents to Callie and Luca.
And I have 5 grandkids and 3 kids from a prior marriage. They all live back in Massachusetts.
One of the things that we regularly did pre-COVID is get together with some folks and play sheep's head, and that's probably one of the biggest things that I'm missing right now. Hi, Wendy.
I have no idea what sheep's head is, but you can explain that later. Could you tell us what you like about Mount Zion, or why you guys decided to return here to this congregation?
It feels like family here. This place has always truly been welcoming to everyone, and the connections that I have here are awesome, and this is where I want to be.
Yeah. I've missed the friends that we made when we were here before, and as Dawn said, this is like coming home after being away for a while, and we just felt called to come back.
So one of the things we'd like to know is something about what makes your faith important to you.
Well, my faith has always been a part of who I am as a young adult growing up. I just knew that there was a greater being out there, that God had his hand over creation. And I just look forward to see what the future will bring us.
My faith is important to me because it allows me to see the connection between all of us. And it gives me hope when I look at some of the things that are happening in the world. It's my faith that gives me hope. And I think too, of once I'm gone from this earth, that there's going to be something pretty special waiting.
Thank you both for sharing. We always like to hear how faith is an important part of life. And welcome again to Mount Zion.
Thank you.
Hello, Mount Zion. I'd like to welcome another one of our new members. This is Eric Pearson. Eric, would you please introduce yourself to the congregation? Let them know a little bit about you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Eric Pearson, like the pastor said. I've been born and raised in Brookfield, and I lived in Madison for a while, but I'm back in Brookfield. I've been married twice. I'm on my second marriage with Cynthia Rigsby, who many of you might know. An interesting thing about that, we got married at Mount Zion, and that's the same church my parents got married at about 50 years earlier. And also my grandparents went there. I was baptized there. And my aunt and uncle, Rick and Lynn Pearson, who also many of you probably know, also go to the church. So it's kind of the family church, which is kind of nice.
So in some ways you've been at Mount Zion for a long time. In some ways you're brand new.
That's right. In some ways I've been here since I was born. In other ways, not been here very long at all, because I haven't been attending regularly for even a year yet.
Since you've come back, could you tell us one thing that you like about Mount Zion?
I do like the choir, and not just because I have relatives in it, but I think music is a big part of any worship service.
So then, what I'd be interested to know is one thing about what makes your faith important, or what's something that you really value about your faith?
Well, I think faith is important, not just for me, but for all Christians, because it gives us 3 really important things. One is identity. We know who we are. We're all God's children, brothers and sisters in Christ. He gives us really our life's meaning and purpose, and there's a lot you could go into that, but I won't bore you with all the details of that because we all know. But it does, no matter what you're doing in life, it gives you meaning and purpose. It gives something that transcends this earthly life. And it makes everything you do here more important because it has eternal consequences sometimes. And the last is it gives you fellowship because you have a family. We all have an earthly family, but the family of faith with all our fellow believers is really important too. And the reason that that's really important is not just we can share that, but I think most importantly is when you go through adversity in life. We're all going through adversity in one way or another with all the COVID and everything else. But I mean, me in particular, I went through divorce, so my faith really helped me get through that, and not just survive going through that, but really thrive, become a better person, become a better Christian. I think it really prepared me for the next chapter of my life, which is in part being back in Mount Zion.
On behalf of Mount Zion, let me be the first to welcome you back into our community. As a member of our congregation, we're glad to have you here. Thank you, Eric.
Well, thank you, and I'm glad to be back.
Carol, on behalf of Mount Zion Lutheran Church, I'd like to be the first to welcome you to our congregation. If you could tell the congregation who you are and a little bit about yourself so we can get to know you.
My name is Carol Colbus. I live in Brookfield, about 8 to 10 blocks from church, and I was a member years ago and decided to return.
Oh, well, I know from talking to you that you're a musician, and so the part of the reason why you left the church after the 70s is because she went to a number of different churches as a musician over the years. And so what I'm wondering is, after all this time, what made you want to come back to Mount Zion?
Well, I felt that it's hard when you're the organist and then you are a member when there's a new organist. I felt it was best for me to find another church, and I know people at Mount Zion. It's close to my home, so I thought it was the best fit for me.
I know you especially know a lot of people in the choir, so
Yes, I do.
I'm sure they're looking forward to seeing you here at our congregation again. One more thing for us to get to know you better. Could you tell us one short thing about why your faith is important to you?
Well, I came from a family of 9 children, and we always had to struggle financially, and I've always found in times in life when I needed help, Jesus was always there for me and saw me through every step of the way. And at night I say thank you for all the help I've gotten, and I'm proud of the Lutheran Church and always want to be a part of it.
Well, thank you. That's wonderful. Again, on behalf of Mount Zion, we are glad to have you back in our congregation after being away for probably 40, 50 years.
44.
But you are back now, and so we are glad to have you back. Thank you and welcome again.
Thank you.
I would like to welcome another new member to Mount Zion, and though most of you probably think that the person you see here is already a member, she was actually baptized in Allentown, Pennsylvania by her grandfather, and just recently we have transferred her membership to Mount Zion finally, along with the rest of her family. So I'd like to let you introduce yourself. What's your name?
Isabella.
Hello, Isabella, and what grade are you in?
Plus.
You're in first grade. And what's your favorite thing to do? What do you think? You like going to school? You guys are going to school now, aren't you? It's been pretty good, hasn't it? So, what's your favorite thing about God?
That she made all the people.
God made all the people. Well, thank you. Well, again, from everyone here at Mount Zion, welcome Isabella to our church. I know you've been at our church for a long time, but we are glad that today you are now a proper member of Mount Zion. Welcome.